project is sentimental analysis and movie reviews. Group members are specified here. Now, next slide. Sentimental analysis is the process of determining whether a piece of information like text or audio is positive, negative, or neutral. For a sentimental analysis in text, it uses the concept of natural language processing and machine learning techniques to assign weighted sentiments, scores to the entities, topics, themes, and categories with a sentence or phrase. Huge application area in modern sentimental analysis are based on movies. Summary of all the reviews for a movie helps user make the decision by not wasting their time reading all the reviews. We have named this project as MORS, Movie Review Sentimental Analysis Framework, which aims to derive sentiments from movie reviews using deep learning techniques. To the next slide. Yeah. The dataset description. The dataset used for this project is Rotten Tomatoes movie review dataset, which is publicly available in Kaggle. It is a corpus of movie reviews used for sentimental analysis. The dataset is divided into training set and testing set. The training dataset comprises of tabs separated files with 1,56,060 phrases. The picture shown here is the head of the train set. Here each phrase has a phrase ID and each sentence has a sentence ID. Most of the works in movie review sentimental analysis uses two sentiment classes, positive and negative, but we have used 5 different types of sentiment classes labeled as 0 to 4. 0 as negative, 1 as somewhat negative, 2 as neutral, 3 as somewhat positive, and 4 as positive. The use of these 5 different classes will tell us more precise information for a review, but at the same time makes it difficult to train the model for larger accuracy. Next slide. Yeah. Here the figure shows the variations with respect to the sentiments. We can see that most of the reviews are from neutral category, followed by somewhat positive and somewhat negative reviews. And so the data set is kind of unbalanced because the distribution is not similar for all the cases. And now, next slide. So this was all about the data set used for the project. Moving to the data pre-processing section. As the data contains a lot of noise information, we need to expel it before providing to the model. So to clean the data and make all the phrases more concise, 4 operations are performed as shown. Basic cleaning, stop word removal, lemmatization, and finally the tokenization. In the basic cleaning operation, next slide. Next slide, yeah. Firstly, all the texts are converted into lowercase letters so that further operations are easy to perform. After that, all the unnecessary and unwanted elements from the text are removed, which include punctuation, special characters, and numbers. Also, extra spaces and line breaks are placed with a blank space. This whole process will make the reviews more uniform. For example, hi, welcome to Morse have some punctuations and some of the letters are in uppercase will be converted into all into lowercase and punctuations will be removed as shown. And now, moving to the next part, stop word removal. For the project, now in the stop word removal section, all the articles and prepositions like a in the need to be removed from the text because they add no value to the reviews and instead make them look heavier. So, for example, the movie was too good will be converted into movie too good, which have the same meaning. Now in the stop word removal section, for the stop word removal section, we took the list of stop words from the NLTK toolkit, but this list also includes negative words like no, not, which should not be removed from the reviews. For example, the movie was not bad will be classified as negative instead of classifying as neutral or somewhat positive. So it's important to remove these from the stop word list. Coming to the lemmatization part, it is the text normalization technique, which group together different inflected forms of the words so that they can be analyzed as a single item. In other words, the morphological form of words having the same meaning are mapped to the same lemma. Here, lemma is the root word of all the words having the same definition of meaning. For example, trouble, troubles, trouble, troubling become trouble, and was become be. They have the pause tag, defined in the net lemmatizer class, which we have used for this project, provided by the Python NLTK toolkit. And these techniques make the text more concise. Now moving to the last operations tokenization. Now for the tokenization part, neural nets does not take text as input, so we must convert all the text into integer or vector representation. We have used the tokenizer class provided by Keras. It takes the whole data and map all the unique words to integer. After that, it converts all the text into the sequence of integers according to the mapping done. We can see here in the image, there are two sentences given, and all the unique words is assigned to an integer, unique integer. And after that, each sentence is converted into the integer representation according to this mapping. Now, so we are ready with the data to be fitted into the model. So now handing over to Ritu.
Thanks a lot, Harshita, for explaining the data set and the data pre-processing part so beautifully for me. Now I'm going to discuss about the network architecture which we have used in this project. We have utilized the power of deep learning to properly classify the sentiments from the movie reviews. Our classification network consists of 4 main components: an embedding layer, followed by a bidirectional long short-term memory network. Then there is a dense layer having 100 nodes and ReLU as the activation function. Finally, there is another dense layer with 5 nodes corresponding to 5 possible sentiment outputs, the tokenized reviews, and they are having softmax as the activation function. The embedding layer converts the tokenized reviews in a format that can be directly fed to the BiLSTM network. We have used Keras embedding with output dimension as 300. So after embedding, the embedded tokens will be represented as 300 dimensional numerical vector, which is directly processable by the LSTM network. So the LSTM network then processes the tokens sequentially one after another and passes the output to the first dense layer over here. And the output of the first dense layer is then transferred to the last dense layer, which produces probability score for 5 possible sentiments. The movie review is then assigned to the sentiment with the highest probability. So we can see that the main player in our architecture is obviously the BiLSTM network. I want to discuss a bit about why we have used a bidirectional LSTM network for this project. At first, we need to know what kind of a data set we are dealing with. Movie reviews are sequential data. It means that the ordering or the sequence of the data matters a lot. You can extract some useful information from the sequence. The preferred architecture for sequential data, which is used very heavily in the industry, is obviously recurrent neural network, or RNN in short. But RNNs can process sequential data efficiently, but they have their own problems. A basic RNN cannot process long-term sequential dependencies. For example, if we consider this movie review, Shawshank Redemption, although a classic masterpiece and is ranked high according to IMDb ratings, fails to impress me. So this is obviously a negative review. The main 2 phrases in this review, Shawshank Redemption and fails to impress me, should be connected to produce a negative sentiment output, but they are placed far apart in the review. You can see over there. If we feed this review to a simple RNN architecture, it will not be able to process the long distance relationship. So we can see that long distance relationships are hard to maintain in real life as well as in LNP projects. Moreover, some of the mid phrases like classic masterpiece and ranked high may confuse the model to predict positive sentiment for these kinds of movie reviews, which is not desirable at all. A solution to this problem is using long short-term memory. It uses a memory cell and several gates to remember long-distance dependencies. So it is a great network for sequential data, but again, there is another problem. LSTMs process sequential data from left to right. So what will happen when the tokens in sequence have right to left dependencies as well? I mean, the tokens may be dependent on previous as well as upcoming tokens in the sequence. For example, consider this review over here, which says the movie gives a great message, but it is very boring. So if the LSTM network starts processing data from left to right, it will see the phrase great message at the beginning before seeing the phrase very boring. Although the movie review should be negative, it will show positive. To avoid that, we can use bidirectional LSTMs. BiLSTMs can handle bidirectional dependencies as well because of its simultaneous propagation from left to right and from right to left. For this reason, we have used BiLSTM for this project. So this is the entire flowchart of modes. You can see it starts with input reviews. The reviews are then passed to data pre-processing part, where the lemmatization, stop word removal, tokenization, etc. takes place. After data pre-processing, the tokens are passed through an embedding layer. The embedded tokens are then forwarded to the deep network consisting of bi-LSTM network and two fully connected layers over there. Finally, the deep learning model provides a sentiment output. So there are 5 possible outputs: negative, somewhat negative, neutral, somewhat positive, and positive. So we have already explained the data set. We have also explained the network architecture. Now it's time for the training. We have used Canvas platform to train our model. While training, we needed to specify some of the parameters which we have used while training. We have fixed the number of epochs as 5. The training validation division is set to 75-25, which means that the 75% of the training data was used as training set, while 25% of the training data was used as validation set. We have also used early stopping. It is a technique used to stop overfitting of the model over the training data. Overfitting happens when the model performs very well on training data but cannot really generalize, and so it starts providing bad results for validation set. So we have used early stopping on validation accuracy for with a patience of 2. It means that if the model receives reduced validation accuracy for 2 consecutive epochs, it will stop the training. And from the plots, we can see that the training loss is always decreasing as we increase the number of epochs, but the validation was decreasing at the beginning, but for 2 to 3 epochs, then it started increasing. Similarly, for model accuracy, you can see that training accuracy is always increasing, but the validation accuracy stopped increasing after a 3rd epoch. So here you can see that early stopping comes in really handy over here. So after 5 epochs, the training accuracy was around 71%, while the validation accuracy was around 64%. After training, we have applied the trained model over the test data and submitted our predictions to Kaggle. According to the scoring system of Kaggle, we received a score of 0.63336, which is really competitive. We have compared our score with some other models which have used this dataset before, and it is really competitive, if not the best. And so we have also developed a web application for Morse, which is hosted online on this URL. We have also provided a link to this project on GitHub. Here's a video demonstration of Morse web application. So I'm going to play it. You need to provide your name, then the movie name, followed by the movie review in the text box. After you hit the submit button, it will redirect you to another page which shows the sentiment predicted by Morse. So you can see here is the sentiment prediction. So let's see another example for some more time. So absolute delight. So it is a very positive review, and you can see the review provided by Morse over here. And yeah, so as conclusion, we can say that the movie review sentiment analysis is a very complex problem because of the variations in sentiments it can provide. We have used 5+ dataset, which is really hard to generalize. It is really difficult to distinguish between like what is positive and what is somewhat positive, or what is negative or what is somewhat negative. So the difference is very little over there. That's why we have used sophisticated tools like data pre-processing, tokenization, vector embeddings, and a bi-LSTM network. The model has been tested over Rotten Tomatoes dataset, which is hosted publicly on Kaggle. Unfortunately, the dataset we have used is very imbalanced, which is evident from the data distribution. The number of reviews per sentiment is pretty skewed because number of negative and positive reviews is very less. The dataset has many neutral reviews, so currently the model is kind of biased towards neutral reviews. In future, we want to train our model over some balanced datasets. And yes, obviously, Morse is a very generalized framework for sentiment analysis. We have kept it in that way so that it can be extended to other review sentiment analysis problems like online product reviews or document reviews as well. So these are some of the references we have used to prepare our slides. And thanks a lot. That will be all from our side. And we have also submitted our paper. Oh, Gunjan, one more thing. We have prepared our paper in LaTeX, so I have provided you my this link. Oh, here my drive link. Okay, that's okay with you, right?
Yeah, that will be all. Thank you, Ritam, Harshita, and Saurabh. That was an awesome presentation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.